All right, so we're back, and I'm not going to waste any time. Shut everything down, set off the siren, and tell your girl W.A.D.E Suave is not going to be over tonight because Deji has just dropped some new training footage, and just like your drunk uncle at your family cookout, when his song comes on, we had to break it down. So no more time to waste. Deji's new training footage with Daily Perales, his new coach. It looks like it's some pad work, so I want to see some improvement. I want to see balance. I want to see him pop the pads. We might not get too much because it's a 29-second video, but it's enough to ask the question, is he ready for Alex Wasabi? The breakdown, let's go. All right, so I'm gonna let this play through one time. I know you guys hate it when I tap the space bar like a crackhead, so I'm gonna let this play through once, and then we'll come back and look at this. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Come on.
Uh-huh.
Come on.
Woo!
Yeah. Two. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Good. There we go.
Okay. By the way, buy that pay-per-view, buy that pay-per-view, buy that pay-per-view. All right, so I see a lot of things that I like just off first watch. Better balance in his shots, more crisp with the shots. We're not seeing overthrowing Deji and just like mauling coming forward with big shots, which you don't usually see on the pads, to be fair. And again, this is just pad work, but I see a more tight and disciplined Deji, not overthrowing the shots. When he pops the pad, everything comes back. But I also see some things that are a little worrying, but again, just pad work. Let's just take a look. I'm gonna tell you what I mean. I like the straight left hand. He pops it. I can tell there's a bit of a twist in the hip here, even though I can't see it, just based off the way that Deji not only flips that hand out, but the way it pulls back in, right? It's almost like a spring. You pop it out, it comes right back. We got the uppercut, then the hook. I like to see Deji keep that chin tucked a bit, right? Because the hand, yeah, it's close. We're fine here. We're not quite answering the phone, but that's okay. Because God forbid he misses his hook, and all of a sudden this chin is up here. Alex throws that straight right hand down the pipe, touches him on the chin. It's bad news. And something you notice here too with Deji, when he throws this right hook, yes, it's a great right hook. Watch the elbow. Boom. Look at that. Parallel elbow. It's not here, slappy with the wrist. It's not here coming across. It's bang across. That's a great hook. And again, he doesn't take his momentum flying off the hook. He's switched on, ready to go again. Boom. Here we are, switched on, ready to go. Bang, bang. And again, some twist in that hip. Stomping that foot and sitting that weight back on that back leg is the way it should be done. Not over the top, but enough to keep you on balance so that you're ready to throw after that. All right, so this was the part where I had a little bit of an issue, right? And by the way, shout out to the Daily Effect, man. He's one of the best coaches up and coming in the boxing game. And I'm telling you right now, his time with Deji is why you're going to see a far, vastly improved Deji, in my opinion. But this part right here is something I'm just not a big fan of when you're slipping. It's simple stuff. They're just working on Deji's head movement. I get that. But even here, right? Look at our right hand. Our right hand's on our hip. And again, I know I'm being very picky, but all I'm saying is if Deji doesn't slip this shot and he gets touched with this jab, it's going to hit him dead square in the chin, and he doesn't have hands up to defend it, right? So that's the only gripe I have there, that Deji's just a little low with his hands as he's slipping these shots. Just getting Deji to move his weight and transfer that weight back and forth is good. I just would like to see those hands stay a little higher because, again, if he doesn't slip this jab or he doesn't slip here, he's getting cleaned out with an uppercut coming right there because these hands are in no way there to defend himself. The more you have to move and slip side to side, it's going to get tiring versus just keeping those hands there and sometimes taking some of those on the gloves, parrying and then returning. So we'll see, but that's the only kind of gripe I have with that. You know, another thing I'm noticing, by the way, we're going to talk about this in just a second, but you know, another thing I'm noticing is Deji's hand speed has gotten far faster. Maybe I'm crazy, but I'm seeing a very trimmed Deji throwing shots at a higher rate of speed with better technique and on balance. Because he's losing that weight, his cardio is improving, yes, but so is his hand speed. It's a good sign for Deji fans.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
I will say this till the day I die, Deji is a natural right-hander, and the force he generates with that right hand as his hook versus that uppercut, you can tell the difference in what he's most comfortable with. I could be wrong, and I should have asked him this on the interview, but I swear Deji's a right-hander.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
That's a night and day difference, even in those little exchanges for Deji. He's gone through the motions in almost every fight, and I'm assuming in almost every fight camp, but that is more intense than I've ever seen Deji, ever. Attacking the pads, Doing so on balance, not trying to kill. I mean, look at, looks kind of crazy, but look at that face. That man is locked the f in. You don't like to see Deji dropping his lead hand after every jab either, right? That's good. Keep it there. But when he throws the 1-2, that's when we see boom, boom, hand here. If he keeps that hand up, it's more beneficial to him because not only does he pop his jab, he protects himself, but it's almost, again, like a coil, like a spring. You're here, boom, right? They really like working Deji's lead hook, man. 2-3. 2-3. Again, this is nice. Look at that. That's a picture-perfect right hook. Look at that engagement in the shoulder. Deji's got power. You can not only see it on the pads, but we've seen it before. He can crack. No doubt about it. This is Deji's best shot. If Alex gets hit with this clean on the chin, that could be good night. This is trouble right here. All right, man, so there you have it. That was a little short. I know it wasn't too much that we could see there, and of course, I found a way to make like 10 minutes out of 29 seconds. But I had to, man, because there's so much in these little nuances, these little details that I hope you guys are picking up on because Deji is getting better. There's no doubt about this. Again, let me say this, it is just pad work, but you don't see the over-lunging, overreaching shots, and that's what pads are meant to do along with shadow boxing, right? Those are meant to hone in those skills so that when you go from the pads to a fight, you replicate that same motion and you don't get way out here and this and that. There are some things that I hope that we don't see in the fight, like him slipping with his hands kind of low and just hoping and relying on his head movement. Because sure, yes, that may work, especially early in the fight when he's fresh and he's seeing shots clearly. But what happens when we're in the later rounds and you've gone to that well so many times that Alex has picked up on it, and you've slowed down a bit because just like the secondary protection that all of us use, that Trojan slogan, you can never be too safe. Honestly, I think if you're a Deji fan, this is encouraging. And if you're an Alex fan and you're seeing Deji pop the pads with better technique and he's not overreaching and he's not over lunging, and knowing the fact that Alex has been caught with his chin up a couple times again years ago, you might start thinking, is my guy in trouble? But like I said, I thought this was good. A couple things Deji can still work on, but just being there with Daly for 6 weeks truly shows the ability of his head coach. And I would love to ask Daly more about the stuff they've done in camp and what Deji's improvements are. I don't know. Maybe I will. But outside of that, the questions that still remain, and one question in particular, someone's getting exposed and someone's in trouble. But is it Deji or is it Alex? I don't have those answers, but with less than 2 weeks to go, they're coming at us quicker than a Deji right hook. So, guess we'll find out.